reporting from
This WBTV high-definition program is sponsored by Time Warner Cable. WBTV News Prime Time starts right now.
Keep those scrapers handy. You needed them for snow today. You will need them for ice tomorrow. Plus,
what are you going to do today?
Right now? Don't know. I'll probably just get on the bus and ride to stay warm.
A warm blanket, but a cold wake-up call in tonight's cover story. Charlotte's homeless complain there's no place to stay during days like today. But first on Primetime, we are tracking Power Doppler. We want to let you know what you're in for tonight and what you're in for tomorrow as you start to make your plans. Good evening. I'm Maureen O'Boyle. We want to let you know Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools already closed for tomorrow. But we want to start off with some breaking news we've been following today. An apartment complex on fire on Winery Drive. This is off Albemarle Road in East Charlotte. Dedrick Russell is there on the scene. And Dedrick, what can you tell us about the fire?
Well, Maureen, I can tell you that the fire started about 5 o'clock this evening at the Brandywine condominiums. We were told that plenty of 911 calls came in informing crews about this fire. I'm going to step out of the way. As you can see, a fire truck is still on the scene and a police officer is still on the scene. Very much an active investigation. Now let's go to some video that we shot just moments ago. This was a massive fire. At this hour, significant damage has been done to 8 units, meaning 8 families are tonight without a home. Red Cross is helping those families on this cold night. The flames were intense. The roof partially collapsed. It took about 60 firefighters to bring things under control. Only injuries to report is that of a pet, and we are told that the dog will be okay. Also, we're told that this fire was not only huge, but difficult.
And the challenges weren't extra trucks. It was needing firefighters, stretching hoses, catching hydrants to finally put out the blaze.
Yeah, putting out the blaze in this cold weather was a challenge. In fact, we were told that the victims, they waited on CATS buses while firefighters knocked out the flames. Now, no word right now on the cause of the fire and no word yet on how much damage was done. But fortunately, no one was hurt and everybody is going to be okay. We're live in East Charlotte. Dedrick Russell, WBTV on your side, prime time.
And as always, the Red Cross is there for people in need. Dedrick, thank you. Well, as soon as the snow started falling some 16 hours ago, we deployed everyone we had. Right now, we still have a team out there. Steve Onesorge is in Morganton covering the storm's impact there. We also have Sarah Batista talking to DOT about tomorrow's commute. But we want to begin with Chief Meteorologist Eric Thomas. He is live in the First Alert Weather Center with our winter storm alert. Eric, what's happening right now?
Well, Maureen, it's a tale of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, Dedrick showing you a lot of the ugly. How about a little bit of the good, and then we'll get to the bad again. And this is what we love about winter, I guess, is the beautiful scenery that you can get out of it. Found this on charlottebuzz.com. Philip Cicerillo thought I'd give you this big panoramic shot here of the Charlotte area. He took this from the top of the Arlington on South Boulevard and really giving you a nice picture. A lot of even our cameras here at WBTV have been frosted over now by that freezing drizzle. So that's at least one opportunity to show you what the scene looks like. The winter storm warning, here we go with the headlines. That remains in effect through the overnight hours and through noon tomorrow around Charlotte, with this evening freezing drizzle continuing, even into the overnight. Don't have to tell you already, the treacherous roads becoming even more and more hazardous as we go. Winter storm warning in effect, as said, for everybody. And here it is, Maureen, the bad. We've got more freezing drizzle rolling up from South Carolina. It is going to be a while before we get out of this, and that glaze is going to make those roads a skating rink. That's the way it is right now. Your First Alert forecast coming up shortly.
And Eric, we want to look at the roadways right now. This is 485 east of 77 in South Charlotte. One car, maybe two there. And we're seeing that camera being kicked up by those gusty winds Eric's been following all afternoon, and especially tonight. As he said, they're going to be slippery and dangerous. And as soon as the coating ended up on the roads today, well, the cars and the trucks like this one, they started having trouble taking a turn. Even slowly, he rams there into the median. The major concern tonight, all the snow, as Eric mentioned, is now turning to ice. Crews are working to get ahead of it right now, and it's going to be a long night for them. WBTV Sarah Batista is live and on your side on I-85 north of the city. Sarah, this storm, as much of a headache as it is for DOT, and it's also a real headache for drivers who've got to head out tonight.
Well, the problem right now is how steady it has been. DOT has been out plowing the roads, but then it starts to snow, so they have to do it all over again. So they're really trying to stay ahead before this turns into black ice. Drivers who hit the roads today, it was slow and steady. Only a few of them were not so lucky, like the driver of this car.
Icy and slippery.
The North Carolina Department of Transportation spent yesterday and today being proactive, salting and plowing the main roads, hoping to stay ahead of the snow. But the heavy accumulation poses a challenge.
You might see that we're out there plowing, but then give it some time and it will continue to accumulate like nothing ever happened.
It's a round-the-clock effort to keep the slush from turning into black ice. NCDOT says crews are working steadily in shifts, more than 90 trucks on the roads. The main priorities, bridges, ramps, and interstates. DOT spokesperson Jen Thompson says the area hasn't seen this amount of snow in years.
We've had a few small storms over the past couple of years, but this is one that's really taxing our resources and our manpower.
The real danger for drivers could come tonight and into the morning. As temperatures dip, we'll likely see a refreeze on the roads. Ronnie Mays, a truck driver, says he's headed to Arkansas tonight, but if the roads are too slick, he's going with Plan B.
You pull in the truck stop and go to bed.
So right now, traffic is pretty smooth. The roads are pretty clear, but remember, we could see some trouble spots later on tonight. So keep that in mind if you have to head out or even in the morning. We're live in North Charlotte. Sarah Batista, WBTV, on your side.
Yeah, and Sarah, we want you to be careful on your way heading home and heading back to the station as well. No school today, no buses, no school buses on the roadways, but that means Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools have to give up a day off. CMS says it will be January 17th, Martin Luther King Day, but parents point out that January 21st is a teacher work day, and that is when students should take that makeup day. Well, the school district responds that the calendar comes out at the beginning of the school year, and if parents had any concern about makeup snow days, they should have raised those concerns then, and it looks like they'll be making up yet another day. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, CMS is closed again tomorrow as well. In the foothills, the snow, well, it started to fall early there. Like everywhere else, it has been a game of catch-up for road crews trying to keep the roads clean. WBTV's Steve Onesorge is live there in Morganton, continuing our team coverage tonight. Steve, it must be exhausting for them to try to keep ahead of the strong system.
It really has been, because it really stopped for a couple of hours. Then we've got a bunch of sleet, and now, as you can see, it is snowing again. So they've been doing what they can. Now, there are a lot of people that are out traveling around, and they're advising people, if they do, to make sure they're prepared. Bring a snow shovel along, maybe some sand or salt, and make sure you have a blanket in the car. The road crews will be out trying to do what they can tonight, but they've already had a long day. Road crews have been at it all day. It's not been easy staying ahead of this snowfall. Pretty tough. But they have kept roads like Highway 70 in Hickory and Interstate 40 in good shape for travelers. What they haven't been able to clear are the secondary roads. Not yet. Didn't stop this postman in Morganton, though. With chains on the back, this guy would not be stopped.
Gotta have the mail.
In Hickory, we found shoveling to be a family affair for this group.
We wanted to snow more.
The family's landscaping business becomes a snow removal business on days like this. That's why they like the snow.
Gotta keep some money coming in somehow.
A lot of people were smiling through all this, testing out the four-wheeler in the snow, even giving the lawnmower a workout. Not the best for doing donuts. And then there was Robert Capellish, a solitary figure on a long, snowy road.
My wife took me to work, and I didn't want her to try to drive, so I walked the 5 miles home.
He's from Wisconsin and used to this stuff, but it still was pretty nice to be out in it, he said.
It's been a peaceful walk. I got my iPod, listen to disco music, so it's been fun.
Now, no matter what kind of music you listen to, if you do have those headphones on or the earbuds in, I talked to some emergency personnel earlier today. They're saying don't walk on the roads because you might not hear that car behind you, and they're not going to be able to stop on these slick roads tonight. So everybody has to be careful, whether you're in the car or on foot. Reporting live in Morganton, Steve Onesorge, WBTV on your side.
Very good point there, Steve, and you should probably get in from that snow, too. It's very cold up there. Nearly 200 flights grounded at Charlotte Douglas today. Because of the mess, U.S. Airways is waiving its change flight fee. AirTran canceled all flights in and out of its Atlanta hub. The people getting paid to be out in today's weather certainly weren't enjoying it, but imagine having no choice. Imagine the outdoors is your home. So far since summer, the Charlotte Men's Shelter has taken in some 2,000 men. That's equal to the number they helped all last year. Here's the bigger problem. While Charlotte's homeless usually have a place to sleep, when the sun comes up, they've got to get out. Primetime's Jeff Atkinson breaks down their daytime options in tonight's cover story.
For Nathaniel Locke, it may look fun being out in today's weather, but pull him aside and he'll tell you a different story.
My concern is, why have they made us leave?
Homeless for the last 2 years, Locke called us this morning, concerned about the policy the Men's Shelter of Charlotte uses at its Statesville Avenue campus. At 7 o'clock each morning, the facility closes, and the men have to leave, even in weather like this.
What are you going to do today?
Right now? Don't know. I'll probably just get on the bus and ride to stay warm.
The shelter, which has about 300 beds and used to be known as the Emergency Winter Shelter, since merging with the Men's Shelter on Tryon Street, now is open year-round.
All of the beds will be full.
But because of staffing, Executive Director Carson Dean told us, they can't stay open during the day. Instead, we'll shuttle the men to the Tryon Street facility.
In the morning, during the daytime, there are more options available to people, including coming to our other facility. So it's really a matter of the resources, and it's more important for us to be open at night than during the daytime on this particular campus.
To help fill the void, Community Outreach Ministries, less than 2 miles away, opened its Harvest Center today, which is normally closed on Mondays.
Many of us come from the streets ourselves, so we wanted to make sure this place was open for those that when the shelters closed, they had a place to come.
Like some of the other fellas, I had it a little rough, but God has blessed me, so anytime I can do anything to bless them, especially in weather like this, that's what I do. Thank you.
Today, they were giving out socks and cooking up meals, offering the homeless men who needed shelter during the day a place to rest, to be out of the elements.
It's very important for them so they won't catch cold or, be better for them inside than outside.
It's estimated Charlotte has anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 homeless. What to do when the weather turns bad like today is becoming more of a concern as their numbers grow. For Primetime, Jeff Atkinson, WBTV on your side.
We certainly need to count our blessings, and round 2 hits us tomorrow morning, and it will. We're going to be ready. WBTV News this morning starts at 4:30 tomorrow morning with live traffic and weather at least every 10 minutes, plus closings and delays constantly coming into our newsroom. You can see them there on the bottom of your screen throughout the evening and online at the top of our homepage. Our winter weather alert coverage continues right after this.